Hi, so in this video I'm going to quickly go over a couple of examples from your work. Now the first thing that you should do is to go ahead and write down the key term or the acronym SOHCAHTOA on top. Now let's try to go quickly over what each one of them is. So the first one is the sine function, the second one is going to be for cosine, and the last one is going to be for tangent. Now we don't go ahead and write out the whole thing, we just abbreviate it. So the first one is asking us for cosine of A. Now cosine of A, it's telling us to use the function that starts that represents cosine. So that means that we're going to go ahead and work with this function. So that's cosine. So we're looking at CAH. So I'm going to go ahead and write it on the bottom. So we're looking for CAH. Now that I know that I'm looking for CAH, all I have to do is set up my equation. So my equation, C stands for cosine, so it's cosine of A is equal to the A, this A stands for adjacent, so this is going to be adjacent. Sorry, my pen's messing up, so let's try it again. Adjacent, and then the H stands for hypotenuse. And I'm just going to write HYP. So now we have to just go ahead and find what the adjacent and the hypotenuse is. So if you remember from the Pythagorean theorem, the hypotenuse is always going to be the longest side, or it's also going to be the side that is opposite to the 90-degree angle. So that would be 34. So 34 is my hypotenuse. And now looking at angle A, so that's angle A, I'm going to go ahead and try to find the opposite. So what is opposite to A? So in this case, this is A. So the side that is opposite to A is 30. So this is going to be my opposite. So that means that my last side, my final side, is going to be my adjacent. So the one that's left is always going to be the adjacent. So adjacent. Now that we have them all identified, all we have to do is go ahead and substitute. So 34 is going to go here, and then adjacent, which is 16, is going to go on top. So let's go ahead and use black. So the answer, cosine of A, is going to be equal to 16 over 34, right? So 34 is my hypotenuse and 16 is my adjacent. But we're not done, since if you notice both of them are divisible by 2, you can go ahead and simplify. So cosine of A is equal to, well, if I divide the top one by, so they're both divisible by 2, but they're also divisible by, no, let's just do 2. So it's going to be 8 over 17. So 8 over 17 is my answer. Now on your Google Classroom assignment, it asks you to write it out as numerator and denominator. So that means that on the first box you're going to enter 8, and on the bottom box you're going to enter 17. So 8 is the numerator and 17 is the denominator. Alright, so let's go over number 2. So no, actually number 2 similar to number 1, so let's skip that one. Let's do number 3. So for number 3, we're looking at sine of A. So which one am I working with? Which one is sine of A? Is it going to be the first one, the second one, or the third one? Well, sine is going to be the first one. So this is going to be the one that I'm going to be using, SOH. So in this case, for this one, I'm going to be using SOH. Now S stands for sine, so that's just going to be sine A is equal to, the O stands for opposite, and the H stands for hypotenuse. So it's hypotenuse on the bottom. If I can go ahead and write it properly. Let's see. Hypotenuse on the bottom, and now we have to go ahead and find each one. So how do you find a hypotenuse? What is the hypotenuse? the hypotenuse is the largest side. So just looking at the numbers, 15, 20, and 25. Which one's the largest side? 25, right? So the hypotenuse is 25. So this one's going to be the hypotenuse. Or another way that you can find it is by just looking at the 90-degree angle, which is this square. And what's opposite to that one? Well, that's going to be 25. And you're done. Now notice that this one's asking us for A. So sine of A. So we're focusing on this angle, A. So I'm going to go ahead and make that one in green. So angle A is right here. So what's opposite to angle A? So the side that's opposite to angle A is going to be 15. So this is going to be my opposite. So this is opposite to the angle. And then the last one that's left, that's going to go ahead and be my adjacent. So adjacent. So now which ones do we need? Well, we need the opposite and the hypotenuse. So the opposite is going to go here, and the hypotenuse is going to go here. So let's go ahead and write down our answer. This is going to be sine of A is equal to 15 over 25. Now notice that they're both divisible by 5. So I'm going to go ahead and simplify. So it's going to be equal to sine A is equal to, well, what's 15 divided by 5? Well, let's write it down. And the bottom one divided by 5. So 15 divided by 5 is 3. And the denominator is going to be 5. So my two answers are 3 and 5. 3 is going to be my numerator, and then 5 is going to be my denominator. Alright, so hopefully this makes sense. The last one I'm going to go over is, for this section, is going to be number 9. So looking at number 9, we're looking at which one? So are we looking at sine, cosine, or tangent? So which one has a t on it? Because it says tan for number 9. So that's going to be this one. So we're looking at TOA. So that's the acronym that we have to use for number 9. So TOA. So T stands for tangent. So tangent of C is equal to, and now I need to find my opposite and my adjacent. So let's start with the hypotenuse. Always start with the hypotenuse. So which one is the largest side, or which one is the one opposite to the 90-degree angle? So this is my 90-degree angle. This is the side that is opposite to the 90-degree angle. So it's going to be my hypotenuse. Now, which one's opposite to the angle that's given? They're given C. So C is right here. So we're looking for this angle. What side is opposite to C? So that would be 24. So this is going to be my opposite. And then the last one that is left is going to be my adjacent. Automatically should know that that's going to be my adjacent because that's the only one we have left. So in this case, the opposite is going to go here. And then adjacent is going to go on the bottom. So my answer is going to be tangent of C is equal to 24 over 7. And this one you can't go ahead and simplify, so that's it. So that's going to be your answer. You have to put 24, or you have to go ahead and select the multiple choice answer. So now the last couple of questions ask you for the trigonometric ratio, but then you also have to divide. So I'm going to go ahead and give you an example for that as well. So let's go over 11. So 11, we're looking at cos of C. So which one am I going to be using? So let's actually write them again since we're starting a new one. So we're going to have to write S, so, ka, to, so SOHCAHTOA. And then in this case, we're looking at cosine, so it's going to be C. So remember, the first one is sine. The second one is cosine. And the last one is tangent. So we're looking for cosine, so that's going to be my second one. So we're looking at CAH. So this is going to be cosine of C, because that's the one that they give us, is equal to A stands for adjacent, and then H is hypotenuse, right? So adjacent over hypotenuse. Alright, and then from here we have to identify which one's which. So always start with the largest side. In this case, the largest side is 17, and that is going to be my hypotenuse, because that's the one that's opposite to my 90-degree angle, or the square. Now we're looking at C, so we're looking at this one. So what is opposite to C? So we have two choices, either 15 or 8. Which one is opposite to it? So it's actually going to be 8. So if I draw an arrow, this is going to be my opposite, and this is going to be my adjacent. Let's make that in blue. So that's going to be my adjacent, and all that's left is to go ahead and substitute. So it's going to be cosine C is equal to adjacent is going to be 15, and then hypotenuse is going to be 17. Now, if you guys notice, I didn't go ahead and put parentheses around the cosine, but you can actually do that. Actually, tomorrow or the day after that, Wednesday, we're going to go ahead and work with substituting something in for inside the variable. So instead of C, we're going to put a number, but you don't have to worry about that for now. So now the answer, if you notice, is not given as a fraction. So you have to go ahead and figure out what 15 divided by 17 is. So let me go ahead and open up calculator and see what we get. So we have to go ahead and divide, what was it? 15 divided by 17. So 15 divided by 17 gives us 0.88. So let's write that down. Cosine of C is equal to, let's see, 0.88. Okay, 0.88, and then there was more after that, but as you can see, this should round off to 0.24 because you have a 5 afterwards. So my answer is going to be D. So if you're ever not sure how to go ahead and round, I'm going to go ahead and give you a quick example. So you have the next two numbers are 3 and 5. Now they're asking us to round to the, what was it, to the 4th decimal place. So we're looking at 3, and then we're asking ourselves, the number after 3, what is it? Well, if it's 5 or more, you have to go ahead and bring it up. So because it is 5, I have to go ahead and, instead of 3, write a 4. And that's how you get D. Well, guys, I hope this helped. If you have any more questions, you guys can make sure you guys send me an email or send me a message at Remind. That's it. Bye-bye.